Here's my thing about this that I find so insane is that there's two problems that are going on here. One, we have this idea, which is often we see in politics, where we have a politician who is over promising a solution to a problem, but they're not actually addressing the problem itself. They're coming up with an entirely different solution that will not help the public if you go forward with it. It's like with Eric Adams today talking about a mom and her child that were robbed at gunpoint, and he's talking about his anti-gun unit when the problem is the absolute problem is that a woman was robbed. Whether they used a knife, a bat, or a gun doesn't matter. But
they wouldn't have had to use any weapon.
They could have been barehanded. Again, it's a robbery. The problem is a robbery. And I put it out in a tweet to respond to his tweet saying, so if you're saying if it was with a bat or a knife, it would have been okay. The answer is obviously no, it's not okay that this woman got robbed. The problem is the crime, not that. Putting that into context with what we're looking at with Biden. He's saying the problem is we are in debt because of government spending. Saying that I'm going to tax the ultra rich is not solving the problem that the government is overspending on things that they don't need to spend on. The underlying problem is the problem and will not be resolved. That's the first part. The second part that I have, there's three parts. So one, it doesn't fix the problem. Two, every billionaire, we're talking about billionaires. See, we're talking about the mega rich. Mm-hmm. These are the people who create all of the corporations that exist. Because I know everyone would love it if poor people created businesses. They don't. They work at business until they get enough wealth to build their own business. So what you are doing is you are slowing down the spigot of small and mid-sized business growth in the United States, which is a negative impact to our economy, and driving those people out of our economy to hide their money and to buy their goods in other countries, which hurts the United States economy, and that is a problem. So growth will slow down. Third problem I have is unrealized gains. There is no way. This is going to somebody and saying, your shoes, you have a pair of Air Jordans, they're worth $500. I will pay you $100 for it. What is it? You're going to say, well, they're worth $500. Yes, but I'm only willing to pay for $100. And if I'm only willing to give you $100, the fact that someone says, but it's worth $500 is meaningless. So you're going to tax me at a rate of 5 times, 4 times, whatever it is. You're going to tax me for something that I don't have and I may not even get. Your house, you could say it's worth $100,000. If no one's willing to give you more than $10,000 for it, it doesn't matter what you say it's worth. You're only going to get $10,000. But if you're being taxed at $100,000 for that house, you are going to get pissed off. Are you going to contribute, or are you going to find a way to get your money out of the hands of the government who is misusing it? Because it'd be an entirely different argument if we could say, well, the government's using the money wonderfully. It's doing a great job. And then maybe we would say, oh, you know what? Fine, it's wrong, but look, the money's going into all these great places and they're being spent well. I can live with it. That isn't the case, and we all know that. Therefore, those three problems are the problem, and that's why I can't stand this, and it's insulting to every American that it's happening. Unless you think I'm wrong, if you think I misunderstood this. When I say freedom, when people are wondering, what do you mean freedom? Your economic freedom, which is a huge factor in the United States. This is stripping away your economic freedom. It is putting a cap on your success for everyone who has a business. And at any point, because we know our government, they never take away taxes and they never give up power. If they're taxing billionaires today, then at some point in the future, probably sooner than you imagine, they're going to be taxing large corporations, middle-sized corporations, and then it's down to the small mom and pop. It is only a matter of time and degree. And I'm sure they'll say it's only a small tax. It's only going to be 0.5% or 1% because your business is only making 50,000. You're a mom and pop, but it adds and it takes away your wealth, and then it keeps going. There is no end to this, and all it does is strip your potential future earnings. It takes away your ability to improve the quality of your life. It destroys your ability to hand off what you have earned to your future generations, and it gives the government power it never had before and should never have. It is stripping away freedom. This is a bad bill. Sounds nice. It sounds nice. Oh, those rich people. You know what? You want to be rich too. No one wants to be poor. And this is your ability. This is a cap on freedom. This is taking away freedom. Because and it doesn't matter whether it's 5 people or it's 50,000 people or 500,000 people. The United States has always been about individual freedom. And if we take away freedom from any one group, every group can have that same freedom taken away from them. And that's very important. And we have to be protective of that, not only for the economy. And I know I speak about the economy, but I'm also talking about freedom. Because part of the reason why we have millions of people coming to the United States every year, millions, legal and illegal, people come because of economic freedom matched up with personal, individual freedom. And economic freedom is an aspect of personal, individual freedom, which you don't get anywhere else in the world. And this is going to hurt. As I said just a moment ago when I was speaking with Mike, we're talking about your future potential. This limits it because you will, I guarantee, just like every other tax you have ever seen, just like every other time the government says that they need to strip away a little bit of your freedom just for a little while, you'll never get back. I'll give you a great example. Think of the Patriot Act. Doesn't matter if you agree with it, doesn't matter if you disagree with it, doesn't matter about the circumstances. The Patriot Act, which gives the government a secret court that you don't know about. It gives the government the ability to spy on you. Whether you agree with it or not doesn't matter. This is a power that the government now has that it never had before. And that's by taking away your freedom, your privacy. The government can invade your privacy now, violating the Fourth Amendment in a way that it never could before. And it never will give this up. Remember, the Patriot Act is temporary. It has to be renewed, and it has never not been renewed. It will always be renewed because the government will never give up that power. And in much the same way, when we see taxes, every tax you've ever seen, when have you ever seen those taxes taken away? I'm not saying that they don't get reduced. Sometimes you'll see a tax go up a little bit, the tax will go down a little bit, but the tax always remains. It's never removed, revoked, repealed. It's never gone. It's just how much are we going to tax you today? And every time they add a tax, just like every time they pass a law, just like the Patriot Act, you lose freedom. They take away a piece of your freedom. Patriot Act took away some of your privacy freedoms. Well, guess what? When we add a tax to what you make, that is a tax on your economic freedom. And now we're talking about putting a tax on your future, on things you don't even have yet, earnings that you have never made. This is someone's guess at what will be the future. And they're going to punish you. They're going to punish you for making an investment, for having success. And yes, it starts with billionaires. And that's just an easy target. It's a layup. Everyone goes, oh, those evil billionaires. Why are they evil? Because they're billionaires. Why are they evil? Because if you're saying that a billionaire is evil, well, guess what? Will Smith has more money than you do. Is he evil? How about Oprah Winfrey? She's got more money than you do. Is she evil? How about Nancy Pelosi, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Look at Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Why am I picking these people? Well, some people who support these kinds of taxes are saying those are great people. Well, guess what? They're all millionaires. Are they evil because they have way more money than you do? Every member of Congress gets paid 4 to 5 times what the average person in their state earns. Are they evil? How much is too much? Where is that cap? Where is that number that they stop all of this? It doesn't exist. And if they're willing to say, well, you own something, so I'm going to take money from you today because you might sell it tomorrow, that is punishing you ahead of time. That is proactive punishment. You could have success in the future. Let me punish you for having success. Let me punish you for improving your social and economic status. Can you imagine? Imagine if they actually said it in that way, which is exactly what it is. That they actually told you, we're going to punish you for your future success. Would you still say yes?